Hey everyone, Soundwave8084 here. I'm here. A lot of people are doing their wish lists for 2021. And what I'm going to do is make me a list of figures I want to see Hasbro and Takara tackle and redo or just make a figure of. So these are just characters I want to see get a figure sometime in the near future. Or just take it from a toy from past years and just totally redo it and just give me what I want, okay? I don't care what people want. I want what I want. Okay, so that's pretty much what I'm going with in this video. And I'm going to give a top 10, and I'll give a few honorable mentions here as well. And I might show some of the figures off during this video. Alright, so before I get into the nuts and bolts of my video, I'm going to say if you're watching this video and you're not a subscriber, go ahead and click the subscribe button down below. I do have a weird sense of humor that a lot of people do not like, but some people do like, so I might come across as being just totally weird. Also, while you're down there and staying down there for a while on your hands and knees, or just your knees, you can click that thumbs up button and leave a comment. Go ahead and scroll one down there on that wall for me or someone else to read and peruse through. So, what I'm going to do before I also get into my list, I'm going to show just a few things I've acquired over the past couple of days. Well, you know I've acquired Studio Series Cup. I don't know if you can see him. He's back there. I just reviewed him. It was the latest video I just put out, so you can check that out in my Studio Series playlist, or probably up in my uploads anyway. Also have Studio Series Jazz. He's over there. You can't see him. He's off camera. I reviewed him as well. Excellent figures, both around Jazz. I think a little more so than Cup. Now, I do have Blur coming, but, you know, ironically, Blur is supposed to be the fastest Autobot. He's the slowest one to arrive. I guess he's just not in a hurry this time. Alright, so a few things I've acquired. I got a Funko Pop Starscream from Target. He's a Target exclusive. I don't know why they keep putting popular characters as exclusives. Of course, Target also has a Bumblebee exclusive, and that's based off the, I think, 2006 or 2007 Classics mold, not the G1 Bumblebee mold. This Starscream, I'm not totally sure. I believe it's a straight of G1, and he's holding Megatron in there. Like I said, I'm not too big on this Funko Pop craze. I do buy some of characters movies or TV shows I do like, and kind of, you know, scratch an itch when I see them that, you know, kicks back some nostalgia, or just something I can look at and just laugh at. Also got the Funko Limited Edition Jetfire, and that is an excellent one. I think it's probably my favorite one. I do have Soundwave, which I showed off in another video before. I got him for Christmas. I want to say I think Jetfire so far is my favorite. I haven't opened up any of them yet. They look good in the box. So now I like the old G1 flavor on the boxes as well. It's really cool. Jetfire, always awesome. Also, I got this Premium Collectibles Studio Soundwave Decepticon Communicator statue. Very G1 cartoon in there. I don't know how well you can actually see this on camera, but it is totally awesome. Got this on sale at GameStop. They also have an Optimus Prime and a Megatron, but, you know, Soundwave, that's just me. That's me right there. Do I look that good? No. Alright, so my list of Transformers I want to see get new figures or just get a figure, an updated figure made of them. I'm going to start out with mentioning one honorable mention. I'm going to say Galvatron. I'm going to put him on the list, but he is rumored to be coming in Kingdom as a leader class figure. And we know he showed up in Earthrise, which I guess is blasphemous. I haven't even watched that series yet. I'm going to. I'm going to have to cram that in before I do a live that's coming up. I'm going to watch that. But we know Galvatron makes an appearance. He's coming in Kingdom most likely than the rumors, grain of salt. But most likely, yes. We're getting a new Galvatron. I do have the other one up there from Tides Returns with some upgrades on it from Shapeways and Toy Hacks and stuff. So he looks pretty good. But it's, you know, not up to snuff with the current War for Cybertron line. So we got that coming. I'll go ahead. I'm going to throw another honorable mention out. Ultra Magnus. I know we're getting one in Kingdom, but I'm like, come on. Stop doing this halfway and just go full on. You know, we already got a Cybertronium Magnus, which kind of, in this alt mode, kind of harkens back, in my opinion, to Robots in Disguise. But we're getting, so we got that one from Siege. Then we got the Netflix version, which is him like toasted marshmallowed. And then we're getting a Kingdom, which is the back end pretty much of the Siege. We were getting a new cab, an Earth mode cab, which is like taking the bot mode that was inside, and they're sort of changing things up on it. And then also the body armor that comes over him is a little more cartoon-esque on the body, the chest, the torso piece, and the head sculpt is more G1 as well. And I do like the look of it, and I'm probably gonna end up triple dipping on a freaking Ultra Magnus and being still like, it's not fully there. I need the back end to actually haul some cars. Oh yeah, you can slap some on top of it, but I want to be able to load some inside of it. Alright, so let's get actually to my list where I dragged this video on longer than it really needs to go. So coming at number 10, I want to see a new version of this guy here, Broadside. Now we got one in Titan's Returns, but honestly his alt modes really, they're contradictory. He's a jet, but also an aircraft carrier. So, you know, make of that in your head what you can there. But really, he needs to be Commander class at least. So he really needs to be the size of that Jetfire right there, I think, to be a good figure. In cartoons, he was portrayed as big, but not necessarily Devastator big. And I think Commander class would suit this figure very well, and also make the aircraft carrier capable of holding some small jets. You know, you could take your deluxe Combined Wars Aerobots and probably be able to land one or two of those on there. And then his jet mode, that would be just like Jetfire. Just be an oversized jet and that can carry Transformers around. And in the cartoons, they did actually use that, you know, in some episodes. He did show up as a Decepticon in an episode, and you know, the Killing Jar took off Cyclonus. And he also did that in Carnage C Minor, but dumbass Blaster and Ultra Magnus. And I think even that Z-Bop guy just hung on the outside of him. What the hell? Number 9, I'm wanting to see updates on the 1988 Target Master Autobots. Now, it's a little more broad, as actually encompassing 2 characters there. We've got a Scoop already, you know, years ago in the Thrilling 30 line, I believe it was. Excellent figure. I really, really like that figure. I don't know why they haven't made a landfill and quick mix. Right there, just take the previous Target Master that came with Scoop, just sort of retool them slightly, give us the guns for the other guys. Heck, you probably could just keep the same molds, just change the paint apps around. No one Hasbro, that's pretty much what they did with most of the Battle Masters. And then they can just give us a new quick mix in landfill. I got those for my birthday, I believe. I don't know if I turned 8 or 9. 9? I guess I turned 9. And I really enjoyed them for some reason. Transformation. I just really like those characters. I'm not going into detail there. I like to see them to tackle the 88 Autobot Target Masters. Scoop really needs his friends. Coming at number 8, I'm going to go with Nightbeat. 1988 Headmasters Nightbeat. I didn't throw in Hosea, but you can throw in all the 88 Headmaster Autobots if you want to, but I specifically want Nightbeat. We've got one years ago who was a retooling or of the Gold Bug that came out. I just like to see them actually do. I just didn't actually do a new version of Nightbeat. I want to make him the Columbo of my Transformers. All right, coming at number 7, Sandstorm. Triple Changer Autobot Sandstorm. Now, the figure that came out years ago is an excellent Sandstorm. They had the Springer, the Sandstorm. Very similar, they just retooled them off. Sandstorm, both are really good figures. I've sold them. Again, I kind of regret that after I did it, especially for the Sandstorm. I really like that figure, but I like to see them come out a new Sandstorm. They've done the Triple Changers, they've done Astro Train, they've done Springer. I just really want to see them tackle Sandstorm. Coming at number 6, the Mini-Bots. We got a new Cliffjumper, new Hubcap, Bumblebee, and they're a little bit bigger in scale than the previous Legends class Transformers we got, the Mini-Bots, Beachcomber and all them. But I think Beachcomber, Windcharger, Tailgate, you can kind of slide them in, and I think they kind of still fit that scale. You don't really need new ones of those. Now Brawn, I think you need a new one of, because I think he's just a little bit too small to really scale with Cliffjumper. Yes, I spit there. Cliffjumper and Bumblebee. We know we're getting a new Huffer, Pipes. I like to see him also get new Gears and Swerve. But I think the 2 Mini-Bots that really need to be redone are Power Glide and Cosmos. Power Glide because he's skinny. They kind of started my Power of the Primes. They started beefing him out a little bit more. Beachcomber stick. The entire turns they started beefing him out. Bronze sticker too, because they had to have the capability of storing a Titan Master inside. They could ride inside of them. Power Glide didn't need that. His special thing was transforming into some weird gun that Superion could hold. This Power Glide looks really good. I really like this Power Glide. I like to see them make a new one, and by the same scale as the Kingdom Warpath. I think it should be about that height there, because in the cartoons, Power Glide and Warpath are always portrayed to be a little bit larger than the other mini-bots, almost pretty much Carbot height. I like to see them do that with Power Glide. Now, Cosmos in the cartoon was always portrayed to be really, really small, and as a toy, he was really small in G1. Now, of course, the alt mode, they had people riding inside of him, especially Blaster, who was one of the bigger Autobots. But I like to see them tackle a new Cosmos, make him a little more G1 and a little more beefier. He's just also a little bit, I think, too slender in the torso and legs. He's got them beefy arms, but he just needs to beef up them legs and that fat body. Number 5, I don't know why they haven't done him yet. I guess because he hasn't really been in the media anywhere. But Thunderwing, he got really popular during the IDW comics in the Stormbringer arc, and they made a toy of him, which was really small. And I was like, they should have made that a little bit bigger. And I always looked at him as looking like a play school type toy. Now they redid him into Sky Shadow, and they've actually beefed him up into a proper leader class size Transformer. I like to see them do the same with that Thunderwing. Coming at number 4, and I hope they actually do this in the Studio Series 86 line, they need to give us a Perceptor. Now, I think it's Titans Returns Perceptor is a nice looking figure. But when you actually do stuff with it, it just feels really cheap in your hands. Like it could just crumble at any moment. And he transforms fine. And it's just, he's not a headmaster. I see them take that gimmick away from Perceptor. And like I said, the figure looks nice. I like to see an updated version of him in the engineering that they've done in the War for Cybertron trilogy. Number 3, Blitzwing. This is a nice looking one. It looks pretty G1-esque in the design and the deco and everything. The reasons he needs to be done, number 1, he's got stickers. And these Hasbro stickers they put on here, they kind of suck. So I'm not really too big on those, and they peel off pretty easily. But he doesn't scale. He's too big. And I know Blitzwing, I think, is always supposed to be a little bit bigger. But I just feel that he is too big. Now, I was going to put Octane, Tankor, he's been in all 3 names, on this list as well. But after putting him next to the Earthrise Starscream, I was like, well, he kind of still fits in. And he looks pretty good, so I'm not going to complain about Octane. I think Blitzwing, though, he needs an updated form. I think they could do a little bit better than they did here. Because, again, they had to incorporate a gimmick of the Headmaster, which I think helps in the transformation because they don't have to figure out where to put the head. But then they make little spots for the head, Type Master to sit in the vehicle, the alt modes. And I think that kind of ruins some of the things they could actually do with the alt modes as well. It's a hindrance. Also, I think a help. Number 2, and I'm hoping he comes out in the Studio Series 86 line as well. But I could take him in Kingdom. Just give me a blaster. Give me a G1 blaster. Dust flying around. Alright. Give me a G1 blaster. A good one. We got a good Soundwave in Netflix. Even the Siege Soundwave was fine to look at. It looked like a good Soundwave, in my opinion. But Netflix Soundwave gives him back into his microcassette recorder. If we could get a proper Voyager class blaster to go with the Autobots, I think that would be awesome. He needs his rival. They got to be there for each other. You always need your rivals for your characters, man. Blaster is always one of my favorite Autobots. So again, number 1 on my list of figures or Transformer characters I want to see redone or just done new figures of, the Combiners. I want a new Bruticus, Minosaur, Defensor, Abominus, Piranacron. I hope I say his name correctly there. I want new ones of those. I want them to be the size of them 2 there. The Combiner Wars ones are fine. They look nice. I want some big ones. And the only way to do that is either to put them in a Titan class box and sell them all as a set like they did with Devastator and Predaking, or they can always break them down and put them in cases. Now, how would they do that? Because Devastator is easy. He's 6 Voyager class robots. Predaking there is only 5. Now, the way they cheated it so they didn't have to do as much parts forming is the thighs on Predaking actually belong to the leg bots. And it kind of uglifies the robot modes and the alt modes because there's a big, huge black bar just sitting on them. It kind of ruins the overall aesthetic of the robot and the alt modes, beast modes. But it's mainly there. You're buying it mostly for that, Predaking. You're not really buying it for the individual characters as much so. As some people might be. I'm not saying, but I think the main selling point of that is Predaking, not the Predacons. That's what I'm saying. So it would be the same way with Bruticus and the Combaticons, or Defensor and the Protectobots. Now, how would they do that to get them to that kind of scale? Well, I would assume they would have to make all the, the leaders, leader class, about the same size as Ultra Magnus here, just to make them be able to be the torso. Now, for the thighs and stuff, I don't know how they would probably do it. They'll have to somehow incorporate that into some of the Transformers. Then you kind of are going to lose the Scramble City effect, where you can mix and match. Or are they going to have to make it all parts forming? That's probably why they haven't actually done them yet, is to make it, it's going to make it a little bit more difficult. Because I do have the oversized version here of Superion, Jujang, or however you say it. It takes the Combiner Wars molds and oversizes them, upscales them, and makes them fit in with Devastator and Predaking here by 18 inches of combined robot. Now, the downside to that is the individual robots are huge. Now, Silverbolt is like bigger than Ultra Siege Magnus. The Armbots, Slingshot, Air Raid, Skydive, they're all Fireflight. They're all too big too. They're like Voyager class Transformers. They're taller than like Earthrise Optimus Prime. So to stand them with them, they're going to be like really standing over all your other characters. Now, I know in the cartoons they were shown to be big anyway, pretty much all about Prime height. But in my headcanon, I think that's a little bit too large. But that'd be the only way to get around that. Like Onslaught could work because he's a long vehicle mode, so they can incorporate that to be the thighs. Minosaur could work because they have a trailer. That could work as his thighs, just like how all the third parties are doing. I can see them do Defensor, Hotspot might have to do some creative transforming, or just make him a super long fire truck. The way to get in the panels can fold. He might be hard. And the Terracons might be hard to do too. Depends on how long they make Hungar's legs and stuff. So it gets harder the more you go into certain characters here. But I would just like to have all the combiners be that height. That's just me. So I need Hasbro and Jakar to please me to make what I want. So that is my, I guess you can call it my wish list. My top 10 list of Transformers I want to see get new figures or updated figures of. You can let me know if you agree with this list down in the comments below. And also, if you don't agree with my list, you don't have to sit there and be overly critical or mean. Just give me your list or give me your thoughts in a constructive, civil manner. Because we're not always going to agree. We are unique in our own thoughts and processes here. We have different likes and dislikes. This is just mine, and I know some people will agree with some of these, and a lot of people will disagree with a lot of these. I want to say thanks to all y'all who stuck out through this entire video. I will do my best to edit it down to where it's not too long, and so I don't put you to sleep. So I want to say thanks for watching. Until the next ones. Peace out. I'm going to break my ankle, yeah. Going to break my ankle. Oh, crap. Wake up. Wake wake up, wake up. Wake up, foot, wake up.